If you've seen this subject matter on your email recently, you know this sucks. This is what happened to me this summer, and to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that it finally came. Actually, I was kind of wondering when it was going to, because it's been a long time coming. I tell you, it's a hell of a thing. If you look here at my defect rate, this here is when I began selling on Walmart. This here is, geez, right there, right about a year. It's about the pinnacle of when my defect rate was way up here, almost 55.5%. If you could believe that, that's crazy. Now you understand why I say I'm wondering what the hell took them so long. I've been horrible for a month, 2, 3, 4 months, just terrible. I mean, now keep this in mind. Now, I'm not a bad seller. I haven't really done anything wrong. I haven't done any purposeful wrongdoing to my customers. Nothing like that. As you all know, if you're watching this, you sell on Walmart, you know that the back end of their site, basically, for more or less word, whatever you want to call it, it basically sucks, the back end of their site. Now, I've sold on Amazon. I've mastered their defect rate and their whole back end. eBay for the same things. Currently, you can see here, 0.17%. That's a far cry from these numbers that I was just showing you a second ago here. I mean, these things are just crazy. I mean, this is insane. Now, let me show you how I got this whole thing under control, because currently, you go here to my performance, quite a different story now. Look at that. It's in the green, well under 2%, which is terrific. I thought it was going to be in the yellow, which is where it was about a week ago. This is totally awesome. This defect rate for cancellations, I didn't even know this thing was haywire. And I'm going to show you how to actually rein these here rating numbers in, because these things can really get carried away really quick. Customer complaints, I've never had any problem. My report was always a 0. I never had one person complain, never even had a negative mark or someone calling, complaining, bitch about nothing like that. Delivery defects, this was a horror show, and I'm going to tell you very easily how to get around the delivery defects. Very simple. Just go into your shipping, in your settings. I didn't even know this was even a thing. And Walmart won't tell you, because they just have robots working over there, or people that just tell you form information. They don't actually have any insightful tips to share. You go to your shipping profile. If you're not set up for pro shipping or 2-day prime, like what they call prime or whatever they call it, the expedited deal. And like me, I work Monday through Thursday currently. I do Friday, but I have a girl who updates orders from home on Friday, so we have a grip on that. But if you don't have that luxury, be very careful about these things, because you have to ship, like it says here, by 2 p.m. That's pretty much, you know, the expected that they expect you to do. So going later than that, you're pushing the limit. That could be trouble for you. Also over here, days off, you can adjust these things. But the most important thing that I found is here. You set up where you're at and do value shipping. This is pretty much going to give you a full 7 days of transit time. If you looked at all my reports, and I don't want to bore you to death, but all of mine were basically right at 7 days. But by default, when you do this standard, it gives you 3 days, which there's no way. I mean, Washington, from Florida where I am to Washington, never going to happen 3 days, not with the way shipping rates are going up and going crazy with the value. With this, you can actually go in there and modify it. Make sure that you have it's maxed out for 7 days, so that way you're not putting yourself in a position in hot water to get these orders out quicker than you need to be doing. That's just me. You may not be competing with people who are doing 2 days, but if you're doing 2-day shipping, you have to have a margin big enough for you to afford to give away 2 days, because if you charge shipping, you're going to be putting yourself out on the street anyway. So most people, I find, are going to be doing value. Standard, which in my opinion, 3 days is really a priority. That's not standard. Value is really like first class, parcel post, or parcel select, that kind of a thing. That's pretty much what I'm using, because that's what's affordable for me to use for shipping. Going back over to my performance, and I'm going to show you how I tied that into my plan of action report. When I got my account reinstated, I'm going to show you, that, because that's pretty important. The other way that they're going to get you is return defects. I swear that people return as much as they buy on Walmart. I have never seen returns like I have on Walmart. It's literally insane. What I suggest you do is go in here, hit the download the report. It'll save in your folder. Open it up and look at it. You'll see the same items over and over again. People will buy things. Like I sell an item that you can use. You use it for once, maybe twice, and then you never use it again. People will buying it, using it, and returning it and sending it to the local store, refunding it there, and from there it comes to me, and these people would bitch that they didn't get their refund because it takes time for it to go from them to the store and then from store to me. So I was getting obliterated in these returns. So be really careful about what you sell. If you're going to find repeat offenders in your store, this is going to be a real pain point for most people, and this was really the worst. And it was close second was this one here, was the cancellation defects. When you do an order, right? Let me see if I got any open orders right now. If you don't, okay, I got one here. So say if I wanted to cancel this order, all right, you don't want to do this one. This one will put you out of the box instantaneously. I find that this one here doesn't have a defect on you, and it's usually a clean way to get an out in a situation where you have an order that you want to cancel without getting the defect. This is a pretty good option. This one here is okay too, but this one here is bad. This is bad. This is not bad. However, it does raise red flags on your account, so you might want to be careful with this one. And they'll never tell you what they really mean in their internal system. So I just say, you know what, I'm not going to risk it. I go with this one, or I go with this one. These are the two that I pretty much use almost exclusively. So be careful with those. That's one way they get you. You actually voluntarily get yourself in trouble by using those things improperly. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can do so much damage to yourself voluntarily just by avoiding a couple things. Just giving yourself a little bit more leeway with your shipping templates. That's the first thing. Second thing, actually, I had a major problem was with vacation time. Say if you go away and you have orders coming in and they're piling up and you don't ship them and they're not being received by the customer in 7 days, those will catch you too. So what you want to do is if you want to put yourself on vacation, you'll notice that there is no place in this website to put yourself on vacation. I'm going to tell you the secret to going on vacation in Walmart. It's called updating a feed, which I use. Like say over here, where is it? Right here. You get your feeds. Go in there and you have your regular inventory feed, and then you have another one with a zero inventory. Upload that, and then when you come back, upload your regular inventory feed, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. So that's the trick to getting around that problem. There is no other problem. Walmart is so slow, the wheels are almost square when it comes to getting solutions to these problems. So you have to be creative and kind of come up with your own solution. So this is my experience with Walmart. Best way is to save your own ass, because you got to know. And ignorance is not bliss selling on this here at Walmart. So let me show you something else that will be super interesting, I'm sure, to every one of you guys. That's going to be here. So when you get suspended, and they were pretty good about the suspension. I did get my opportunity to get put back and reinstated within about a month or so, actually about 5 weeks. When I waited up to 4 weeks and I was expecting my plan of action to get replied to, I didn't get an answer, so I sent an email asking them again. They wanted me to resubmit it because whoever I sent it to initially, it was 1 day before the 31 days or 1 month that they expect you to send it in within that time frame. So they just disregarded it and didn't say anything to me. So I'm sitting around like an idiot waiting for an answer. Had I waited 1 more day, I would have probably gotten back online in 1 more week early. So keep that in mind. They mean to tell you that it's about a month in their letter, but you got to really read those letters the way they intend to be read, because when you're suspended, it's an emotional situation. You're not really clear-headed on how you're responding to these things, but that's what they mean. First suspension, like what I got here, which will probably be my final suspension because I'm not crazy, you know, with law breaking on the site or anything, but if you're getting your first suspension, pretty much it's going to be a month. Don't expect 3 weeks. You're not special. You're not going to get 2 weeks. You're going to get the same thing I got and everybody else in the world is going to get. It's going to be a month. Read the letter, do what they say, don't be creative, and you'll be fine. When you're creating a business plaintiff action letter, it words very similarly to how Amazon letters I've done with them in the past, and I'll show you what I put in mine to help you. Now, mine was pretty much returns abuse. I mean, even though it wasn't returns abuse, it's what they call it, right? But I'm going to show you how it looks. And make sure you put plan of action in your response. Super important. See, even here, that's what I was saying. My appeal was denied. You can contest it on this particular date. That's what I was doing. I was pushing them too hard, too fast. Don't do that. Read their letters. Do what they say. And pay very close attention to all this verbiage here. It's kind of important. So this is pretty much how it all worked out for me. I wrote, politely, of course, hi, dear appeals team, who I am, what the root cause of my situation was, why I felt it was that way. Make sure you know, because they're not going to spell it out for you. They pretty much mirrored the way Amazon handles their returns, as far as I can tell. It's very damn near accurately the same exact way. They want you to know what you did wrong. They want you to tell them what you did, how you're going to fix it already and going forward. And this is pretty much how I did. I outlined it in numerical form, what I've already done, what I'm going to do going forward, additional information, signed off with who I am, what my experience is, and that's pretty much it. If it outlines everything that you've done, that they realize that you're being sincere, don't just make up some crap that they want to hear. Make sure that you're actually intentional in your response. Do the right thing. Tell them what you need to know. Make sure you know you've learned your lesson. Send it off, and you should be in good shape, just like I was. And you should be in good shape. But you got to be really careful. Just know in advance that Walmart is just awful with their performance. If you think that this is fair, believe me, it is not fair, and you got to pay very, very close attention. Now, I was kind of loosey-goosey in the beginning when I started selling on the site, and that was kind of like a mistake because I figured, oh man, I've been a veteran selling online, been doing this stuff forever, I know everything, which is true, and I didn't really need the money for Walmart. It was just something I was kind of like tinkering with. However, when the other sites online started to go slow, I really started to miss this one, and I says, you know what, maybe I should have been a little bit more, careful with what I was doing, because now I screwed myself, and it was not harmonious here in the office for these times when I was closed down from Walmart. I could have done better, and I probably should have. So when you see these numbers starting to creep up, look at the cancellation defect. That's the quick first way you can get a grip on things. Your shipping time, raise it up to the length of time that it is. Make it accurate as possible. Make sure your days that you work are accurate. Make sure you're uploading tracking and that it's actually going to the state, town that it's designed to go to, because Walmart tracks that stuff. It's not just like, oh, it was picked up and delivered on this time. The in-between and where it wound up at the end, the computers are smart enough to know what the hell you're doing. So don't try to think that, again, you're smarter than they are, because you are not. They will catch you. And if you're doing slow shipping, you're having problems with all kinds of other stuff, plus policy violations, you mix a couple of those in there, you can make a whole soup of nonsense, of crap that you just can't get yourself out of. You're going to be just boiled to death in your own making. So be very careful about what you do. Try your best to follow the rules and keep a grip on this stuff, because it took me 3 months. After the third notice letter that I seen, oh, your defects are blah, 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 bang, that's when they got me. And they'll get you too. So make sure you try to nip it in the bud, hopefully earlier than I did. So this video is for me to teach you from my experience and how I did things wrong, so you can do things right and hopefully better than I did, and hopefully have a good experience selling on Walmart. And that's it. I wish you all the luck, and I hope you make a whole lot of money selling on Walmart. See ya.